It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. 30 base.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Yep.
I got him. That's me. Right there. 54.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready.
Clock now on 1st down. Green brings it in. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check 50. Check. Lucky.
Ready, go. Shoot.
Now Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, and it's 3rd down.
Ready to break.
Mike 21. Check Mike 21.
Go. Go.
Get.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Go. Check. 59. Wrap.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
A gain of 3 on the play. First down, New York.
Let's go! Pittsburgh! And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. That's it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he hits Drake. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Ready?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Out of the gun, Geis. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Gets it to his running back, Bernard. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
2nd and 5 at the 10-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I know he ain't got it. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
Now a handoff, Geis going right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete. Bernard. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
Huh? You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Right, 54. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Jam. 36.
Fire.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get away. Under 10. 10. Big Ed. Check. Fresno.
Yes. Big grip.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Quincy Wilson in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Locke. They complete it to Hill. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike 21.
Go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Let's go. Deuce. Jump.
Ready?
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And an alley to run. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. Let's go.
Now Locke. Quick slant, caught by Moore. But he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Ed Oliver gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Pick the edge. Go.
There. Get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Locke. He's got Green. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. Let's go one more. Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. Watch twist.
Now.
Hey, check Mike 21.
From the gun, it's Locke. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Green as the first half is winding down. And the Titans have taken the lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. It's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Deron Payne. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now a carry for Bernard. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 44-yard line. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. It's caught by Funchess. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the toss, Bernard. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. Flush to his right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Let's go, dude. Tighten.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now after the holding call, here's second and 20.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Ricky. Check. Crunch. Hey, Mike 51. Blue there.
On third and long, it's Locke. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Quincy Wilson with the INT.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Second and 5 now. Jackson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are going to retake the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last play got just a yard. Here's second and 9 from the 26. They go back to the ground with Smith. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Titans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Check, Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. Check. Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21.
Locke working out of the gun. He may try and run for this. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, check 24, check 24. Tight dog, go.
They'll run for it here with Smith. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Locke. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here we go.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw again on 2nd down. Locke, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Locke. Eluding the pressure right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. Here's Hill on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. Yeah, I got you. Hey, check Mike 20.
Hey, echo.
Check Mike 21. Check pass. Hey, check Mike 20.
Lock to throw. Complete. Smith has it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
Check. Hey, check Mike 21. Mike, go.
Back to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Here's the party now. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Ready?
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a big one coming now for Aldrich Rosas. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Jackson. On the screen, Bernard. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. With the carry on second down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. This to advance to the divisional round. And the kick is good. He got it. And it's official now. They're going to the playoffs. And Charles, on the losing side of things, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation. Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty darn good. And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs start. Well, that ended for them. But when they look back, they'll have a lot to be proud of and see if they turn the page towards the next season.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Nashville.
Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole